Soundcore has launched a major upgrade to their popular Flare speaker. This is my review of Flare Plus. Flare Plus is about 20% taller, 10% wider, and 60% heavier than Flare. All of these changes result in a slightly less portable speaker, but to account for this, Soundcore has got your back by including a strap. Externally, not much has changed with Flare Plus. The logo is now reflective, the buttons look a little nicer, but are more difficult to press, and the lights are quite a bit larger. But perhaps the most substantial change is the inclusion of a USB port alongside the aux jack and charging port underneath the flap on the back side. This allows you to charge other devices, but it will drain the battery more quickly. It's also not a very fast charge, limited to just 5 watts. Otherwise, the same high-quality fabric design is carried over from the original Flare, and Flare Plus remains very aesthetically pleasing in a wide variety of environments. So while this may just look like a larger Flare, most of the upgrades have occurred internally. There's now Bluetooth 5.0 and a larger battery, which should result in about 8 additional hours of playtime. Obviously, these numbers will fluctuate based on what's being played and the set volume level, but you get the idea. Soundcore also says that Google Fast Pairing will be enabled soon through a software update. That's right, Flare Plus still uses the Soundcore app not only to receive software updates, but it also now allows for fully customizable EQ settings, something I griped about in my original Flare review. You can still switch between various light modes as well, but unfortunately, you can't get too specific with what colors you may want. Along with Google Fast Pairing, this is another feature I would like to see added with a future software update. Okay, now let's get into how this speaker performs. As I said earlier, the buttons are harder to press, but this does not affect the power or Bluetooth buttons, which I actually prefer over the original Soundcore Flare, mainly because they're larger. The initial Bluetooth pairing process is seamless, and my device now automatically reconnects within seconds of turning on. Listening to the speaker reveals improved audio quality, but there's not as much of a difference as you might think. The soundstage remains balanced, and this gets much louder, but it's not going to be as full as a large speaker. Still, in my experience, the overall sound is very good for a speaker of this size and price. Of course though, audio quality is subjective, so you have to test this out for yourself. Moving on, the LEDs are brighter in this iteration, but you'll still want to be in a dark environment for the full experience. Soundcore also continues to tout the speaker's IPX7 water resistance rating, so as long as the flap on the back is closed, you should be fine getting this thing wet. I submerged the original Flare into a bucket of water for my last review, and it's still working with no issues. Finally, let's quickly go over the biggest issue I have with this speaker. It still uses a micro USB port to recharge, which is a major no in 2018. I wouldn't consider this a deal breaker necessarily, but it's too bad Anker hasn't even began to embrace USB-C with their audio products. Overall, the Soundcore Flare Plus is a well-rounded Bluetooth speaker with a very high value proposition. For $100, this may very well be the best portable Bluetooth speaker out on the market right now. If you're interested in a speaker with a smart assistant built in, Anker is launching Soundcore Flare S Plus later this year for $130. Well, that just about wraps it up. If this video helped you out, feel free to drop a like, and be sure to ask any questions you may have in the comments section down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Finally, if you're not already, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe so you don't miss out on anything I'm preparing for the very near future. Until next time, this has been Josh from Josh's Reviews.